Couple things. Couple things I want to address on the front end, and then we're gonna get to my least favorite book. When I mean least favorite book, I literally hate this book. Um, okay, so a couple comments from you guys. We got some new subscribers. That's nice. Um, okay, so I wanted to address some comments that are interesting. Let's see, comments. Thank you so much. If not for your horse, my kid's science project wouldn't have been glued together. It's not very nice, is it? I like how you're walking, obviously, down. Okay. Okay, there was one long one about things that people have pointed out to me that have been not wrong. Literally, helpful if I wanted to be like a if my journey in life was to be a streamer, which it's not. Um, if you guys want to ask me, I'll try to look at the chat. Let me see. Um, I don't mind answering questions tonight. Let's see. I, it's so weird because it's easier for me to see it on the phone. Let me just think. Ashley, you're a yogi. Like, why aren't you nice? So that's a big one that I get a lot. First of all, my 10-year-old, what's his name? Kevin Brennan. My 10-year-old Tracy Savage interview that Kevin Brennan brought up is me 10 years ago. Besides losing both my parents and being both of their caretakers and a lot of other stuff going on in the past 10 years, a lot of things have happened. Nothing that I said there wasn't true. Nothing that I said there wasn't helpful for people. Obviously, I don't have Agni anymore, but if you build a studio, you should know that they will come and support them in those ways. Sorry, I just got into like a thing with like my best friend, and it was like, is Mercury in retrograde? Like, that sounds silly to say, but it's like, it was like, anyway. So yeah, I've been teaching yoga for 20 years. Yogis are not Lululemon. We don't smile all the time. We're allowed to react. We're allowed to defend ourselves. We're allowed to be human beings. Lululemon, who I had a corporate sponsorship with, and other companies, Aloe also had a corporate sponsorship with, and a bunch of other companies that you probably haven't heard of. Yeah, that was the thing. You made money off of pretty girls that were doing yoga positions with their feet behind their head. That's not what yoga is. Okay? So I was like vacillating between two books. The Hunting Hypothesis. Do you guys know about this book? I actually hate like the, I like the book. Does that make sense? Robert Audrey, The Hunting Hypothesis. So I was vacillating. I was reading that earlier, but then I'm literally, this is the opposite of the Dabbleverse. Like in the Dabbleverse, if you give them something that you, like if you say you like something or don't like something, it's literally, I just realized something. It's like devilish. I hate this book. Not the way that I hate the way I look in some pictures. I literally think this book is evil. The reason I'm bringing it back round is because it was in a documentary that I watched recently about American Apparel. And also, there are a couple reasons why this book keeps coming into my stratosphere. But the founder of what was figured out to be, or per the Netflix documentary, like a cult, he was running people on the power of now. Is anyone here sonar beep the fuck beep? So I just so what I do with this book when I cover this book, which is not often, like tonight I was just like, I'm reclaiming my channel. Mods, do you think? And I will watch, and then we'll see how that goes. I just randomly, like, I have post-its and stuff. Thank you for the $5. Now I have to read. What about Mercury in retrograde? Hold on. Thank you. Here. I got you. I got you. So I came up with Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Guys, just so we're all clear, this book is like in almost everyone in Hollywood. I'll give you that information. Do with it what you will, right? And everyone in Hollywood's library, except they have the hard copy, right? Hold on, let me just find that super chat. I can read it. I hate the stills that they do. It's like, what is that even? Oh, let me explain the title. The Way of the World. Here, I'm going to figure this out. The Way of the World. So that comes from something, and if you know what it is, the Way of the World. Okay. Okay, we're good. What if it's, I can only read the chats in the dark. That's kind of cute. Not sure about Mercury. No, it's not Mercury retrograde. I know it's not Mercury retrograde, but it feels like it. I'm not sure about Mercury retrograde, but I think Uranus. Nice one. Uranus is in prolapse. Can someone tell me what prolapse is? Oh, also, Rochi, this is when you get to stand up. Block doom now. Thank you. Wait, there was one more super chat I had to read, or no? Did I read them all? Okay. There's one more. Thank you so much for the $5. Also, the only reason Melton talks shit about you is because he wants to be with you. It's so sad, don't you think? I don't totally agree with you on that one. I think Melton does his own thing. Let's get out of the dark. I think Melton does his own thing. It's way too bright. I think Melton does his own thing. I don't have a specific problem with Melton. He's actually one of the people that has pointed out a lot of things that if I wanted to be a professional streamer, I should be doing. Or if I wanted to even be serious on here, I should be doing, right? Okay. Again, I'll do a video about the Dabbleverse because it is interesting. The Dabbleverse is like it was a very interesting experience. I'm not doing it anymore. So there's that. And, but it was interesting. And there were cool people that I met. That's all I'll say. Okay, so the 37th law of power, and let's please, like, I cannot overemphasize that I am criticizing this book. I am. I'm saying no. This book blows. But I think we should know what people are doing, right? And also, someone very close to me, blood related, probably has like 5 hard copies of this book and makes like her boyfriends read it and stuff. I'll just say that. And then seeing the, what do you call it? The, that cult, the American Apparel cult that the owner, founder, whatever, he made every employee read it. Do you know what happens when you force people to do things? Usually does not work. So it was kind of interesting in the documentary. I think it's called American Apparel. I think it was on Netflix. What's interesting about that is half the like employees that were there, like talking about their experience at American Apparel, were like, "Yeah, we got these gift bags," and like 5 years later, after they went through hell, this man like walked through So I remember American Apparel. It was a thing. They had very, especially in LA, they had very, they took up a lot of billboards and a lot of wall space, and they had very like sexy, like I like the leg warmer part of it. I'm still into leg warmers. I don't think leg warmers will ever not be cool, but they had like girls in bathing suits with like leg warmers. It was like cool American Apparel, and it was very affordable. It was like you get tops and stuff for like $8, pants. I mean, they didn't last long, but oh, that this guy, the owner, would like run around naked, like just do crazy stuff. I mean, if you're in a nudist colony, do you? But come on, sir. So, Law 37: create compelling spectacles. I may or may not be reading this law on purpose. And I may or may not have the light to read what I want to read. Okay, so if Doom is not blocked, then I'm firing the moderators that are here. Thank you. So I'm taking my channel back. I'm doing what I want to do in my quirky way, and that's what's happening. Create compelling spectacles. Judgment, striking imagery, and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. So I'm going to start reading this book and stopping it in places for lectures later. Not everyone responds to them. I feel weak people respond to them. Okay, that reminds me, if I have to come with a quick analogy, like Taylor Swift. Everyone responds to her. I would raise my hand and say, she does nothing for me. Okay. Stage spectacles for those around you. See why the hard copies are important? Get it? Hard copies. Hard. Nobody gets that? Okay. Stage spectacles for those around you. Then, full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols. Oh my God, I just described Taylor Twist. Okay, I'm going to read this from the beginning, and you guys don't tell me that I manifested this. Not manifested, but I already knew somehow, because I didn't read this before. Stage spectacles for those around you, then full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heighten your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you're really doing. Okay, let's get into it. I'm just going to read that again. So, Law 37, and I'm covering this book for one reason and one reason only. People use this book. You could be working at American Apparel for 5 years at minimum wage, and the person that is the founder that signs your paychecks, this is his Bible. People that become famous in Hollywood, this is their Bible. Embarrassing. Judgment, striking imagery, create compelling spectacles. Judgment, striking imagery, and grand symbolic gestures create the aura of power. Everyone responds to them. Stage spectacles for those around you. What does that sound like, guys? Then full of arresting visuals and radiant symbols that heightens your presence. Dazzled by appearances, no one will notice what you're really doing. I mean, I'll just say, for a lot of people in Hollywood, it's what people are telling them to do, but that's how it works. If I missed a super chat, tell me. Son of Overbrook. The early 19th. Okay, so there's a lot. A lot. I know you guys. So this is how we're gonna push through. By the way, This is my plan to push through the Dabbleverse. I'm just gonna read y'all to death. Because the originals, the OGs here, love getting into books. We have book clubs and stuff. Okay, observance of Law 1. Law 1 of Law 37, mind you. The guy who wrote this book. Oh, by the way, the guy who wrote this book, Robert Stupid Green, was best friends with the owner of American Apparel. He was on the board. Can you imagine those conversations? Like, first of all, they only hired like hot women and men. Fine. I think that's against the law, but fine, right? But can you imagine Robert Greene calling this guy? I forget the guy's name. It's like fucking fuck himself. He's an idiot. He's like, are your employees following Rule 37? How are they doing on 18? Do you have him online? And it's like, whoa, the guy was on the board? Okay, if Doom is still here, then I'm not going to have moderators. There's like literally, Sonar won't let this happen. Okay, yeah, I don't even know who Pat Dixon is. I mean, I know who he is, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Okay, okay. So, observance of Law 1, which is like, so when you think each law has sub-laws. That's how we'll say it. Okay. Let me just synthesize this really quickly for all of us. I want to meet this man. Robert Greene, where are you at? Can someone get me in touch with Robert Greene, by the way? Preferably in a dark alley. No, I'm just kidding, but not kidding that much. Okay, so it started in the 1780s. Word spread through Berlin about the spray. So Dr. Weisletter, okay, he was a person who performed miracles in 1780s Berlin in Germany. He would do it at beer halls. Okay, first of all, that gives me a red flag. Off the bat, he did his miracles in beer halls. Sounds like a bunch of drunk people that thought that miracles happened. I don't know, you tell me. Sometime in 1783, it was reported that Dr. Weisletter had cured a well-to-do woman who was drunk of an ailment. Did she sober up? It's not brain surgery. He suddenly became a celebrity. See how that goes? Beep, beep. Previously, on the poorest Berliners, previously, only the poorest Berliners, people from Berlin, Germany, had been waiting outside the beer hall. You can't make it up. See, I didn't even look at this, and it already shows how evil this person is. Who is talking to drunk people in front of a beer hall in the 1780s in Germany? Besides a psychopath looking for drunk people that will do things that they will probably not do if they're not in a beer hall. Okay. Gentleman, da da da. So he eventually made a whole thing in front of the beer hall. People went drunk and they got his, this is terrible, and they got his advice, right? As they waited in line, the poor clients would explain to the gentlemen and the ladies that the doctor only practiced when the moon was in its increased phase. Sorry, not increased. Excuse me. I don't even know this word, and I know every word. Increscent. So does that mean it's like not full moon, the opposite of full moon? the doctor only practiced at the beer hall in fucking Germany, where there's lots of alcoholics, or it's just kind of like in their blood. I mean, it's like the next other place you could tell me is like Ireland. He was in front of like or England, right? A pub. So I think increscent means almost full moon, or like opposite of full moon. Sorry. Many would add. So he was already doing. He's already a witch. That worked. He's a witch. So hold on. There's so many times I realize stuff when I'm speaking and then I forget it later, especially on lives. I don't know how many of you guys do live streams, but it reminds me of, or public speaking. It reminds me of public speaking. It's like people are like, oh my God, I loved what you said. And it's like, what did I say? Because you're kind of on stage, I guess. But that part is very fucking important. He only did, so that's a witchery thing. He only did his drunken, magical things at the beer hall to drunken people on not full moon. Who can tell me what this word means? Obviously looking for the word. I need a flashlight. He would only do it on... Oh, what a bitch. He only said that to the poor people. Asshole. What does increscent mean? What's the increscent moon phase? That's the only time he would perform his miracles on drunk people. I'm assuming, I'm just going to call it, I'm going to guess, rich people could probably get at any phase of the moon. We'll see what happens. Many would add that they themselves had already been exposed to the healing powers called forth from the rays of the moon. Even those who felt cured kept coming back. Bless them. Drawn by the powerful experience. So I want to say one thing about this. And I experienced this as a yoga teacher. If someone is expecting a great experience, if someone is expecting a magical healing in 1783 at a beer lodge, it's going to be really hard for the healer to fuck that up. I'll give you an analogy. If someone is expecting Ashley Cummings' yoga class is amazing, which it is and always was, I don't teach public classes at this moment, it would be, and I still teach teachers how to teach. I certify them to teach yoga. I learned, especially when people, best way is word of mouth. When people started telling people, and everyone, like, I heard Ashley was the best. Like, Ashley's, like, classes are the best. It's really hard for me to fuck that up. When I'm walking into a room of people that are expecting a great experience, I have to kind of go out of my way to fuck that up. When people are, on the flip side, expecting not a great experience, there's almost nothing you can do, in my experience, to switch that. Analogy will be another yoga one. So, subbing other people's classes. So subbing, like, one of my best friends, Mark Gibrelli. So we've taught together for 16 years now. He was at both my studios. Subbing his class for 3 weeks. They knew that we were best friends. Everyone that went to his class knew we were best friends, but it wasn't Mark. So I would even play his music. I would do his moves. I took his class all the time. And he said, Ashley, you're the only person I trust with my students. I was like, your students hate me. Mark Gibrelli's students were all like Eastern European women that just wanted Mark's Scottish voice and his techno music and his funny outfits. But I did my best. But I was never going to be Mark. Does that make sense? So this is all bullshit. Just to be very fucking clear. Inside the beer hall. I'm not even going to read that paragraph because we know what happens inside the beer hall. Oh, well. Tower of Babel. This man's insane. Can someone find out if Robert Greene is still alive? I want to find him and talk to him. Bullshit. Okay, interpretation. Dr. Wise letter. Dr. Wise letter. Let's not remember Dr. Wise letter was the creep, psychopath, who stood in front of bars, basically beer halls, in 1970 to 1978 Germany. 1973 Germany for 3 years straight, performing miracles on drunk people. Okay, let's just continue keeping that in mind. Dr. Wise letter may have known nothing about medicine. No shit. But he understood human nature. I'm going to say this again. I don't think Dr. Wise letter was actually a doctor, was he? A practice of a doctor. Why would he say Dr. Wise letter may have known nothing about medicine? Was he a doctor? Or is that just your justification for having him be at bars? I don't get it. But he understood human nature. He recognized that people do not always want words or rational explanations, specifically drunk people or demonstrations of the powers of science. They want an immediate appeal to their emotions. Give them that and they will do the rest. Such as imagine they can be healed by light reflected from a rock 250,000 miles away. See, what pisses me off is that is actually true, and you can actually do that. Doctor, who wasn't a doctor, wise little penis, had no need of pills. I bet you anything he did. There's no way he was hanging out at bars all the time and not drinking. See, this is also my problem with this book. It bores me so fast. Also, let me just finish it up for us. It bores me so fast because there's contradiction inside hypocritic statement and like, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure you want to know my guess? Dr. Wise Penis Little was an alcoholic and would hang out in front of a bar and pretend to perform miracles on other alcoholics. Okay, so here's the in sum, if you will. Remember, I'm telling you to forget. Forget. Your search for power depends on shortcuts. This is not always true. Sometimes it is. You must always circumvent people's suspicions, their preserved desire to resist your will. That doesn't even make sense. Oh, perverse. Copy. Remember, forget. Don't remember this. Just remember if someone tries to do this to you. Your search for power depends on shortcuts. This is sometimes true. This is the only sentence so far today that is sometimes true. You must always circumvent people's suspicions, their perverse desire. He's the perverse one, to resist your will. Okay, how is it perverse for someone to want to resist another person's disgusting will? That's like literally saying a man puts himself upon me, but it's perverse of me to, what did he say verbatim? Resist it. This is what I'm talking about. Images are an extremely effective shortcut. So he wasn't even talking about shortcuts the way I was. I was saying sometimes if you have to help someone figure something out, you'll find a shortcut. It won't circumvent anything legally, morally. It won't compromise anyone's integrity. Integrity is a thing. bypassing the head, seat of doubt and resistance, overwhelming the eyes. Okay, so he's talking about shiny, sparkly thing, basically. With the white light of the moon in their eyes, your targets are blinded to the deceptions of your practice. So just know, everyone everyone except him and the owner of American Apparel and his other best friends are targets. We are targets. We're not people. We're not humans. We're targets. That's what we are. Okay. We can move on to Homo sapiens. There's some stuff that I found really interesting. It's not Homo sapiens. We talked about sapiens. It's hunting theory. But it meshes in well with Homo sapiens. Hi, Sam Bibley. It's so weird. I'm like, when I really could probably just go like that. Can you guys block the comic books guy, please? Rochi, can you block the comic book guy? So when I'm asking you guys to block someone, please do it. Otherwise, I don't see a point in being a mod. I never even needed mods before, but I didn't have the situation that we have now. But we are back to claim our channel and do what we want to do and learn what we want to learn. So Robert Audrey wrote Hunting Hypothesis. This is why you do need the inside sometimes. I'll give you a quickie. Sometimes I have to stop myself, guys. There's somebody I know, and I will not say names, but they give me books, and they end up... I cannot. Someone that I'm related to likes to steal books from the library, and it cracks me up because I open up the book and it's like Woodland Hills Library. Okay. If I believe that we don't care about the author, we want to know about that point. So Audrey explores the crisis man has met and overcome along the way. The depredations of larger predators, scant food supplies, prolonged drought, severe ice ages, and speculates on those characteristics of man that have enabled him not only to survive, but to thrive, to populate, and ultimately to control even the most inhospitable corners of the globe. Okay, so that is the long story. It's a long book. While we are members of the intelligent primate, does anyone here not understand that you're a primate? While we are members of the intelligent primate family, we are uniquely human even in the non-blessed sense, because for untold millions of years, we alone killed for a living. Do you guys know what that means? Anyone? We're the only primates that, I mean, he said that perfectly, have killed for a living. We're the only ones that continue to do it. So, I mean, I don't talk about being vegetarian or vegan very often, but if there was ever a reason to not eat meat, if you don't like it or it's not like your favorite thing, it would just be to be on the right side of like, I don't know. I feel like in not so long people will be like, they did what? How? Why? The hunting hypothesis. Why is man man? As long as we have had minds to think with, stars to ponder upon, dreams to disturb us, curiosity to inspire us, hours free for meditation, words to place our thoughts in order, the question, like a restless ghost, has prowled the cellars of our consciousness. Why is man man? What forces, divine or mundane, delivered to our natural world that remarkable creature, that human being? No literate, civilized people or illiterate, primitive tribe has failed to heed the ghost. I like the way this guy writes. The question inhabits us all as universal in our species as the capacity for speech. Did we enter this world carried out of some primal forest on the back of a sacred elephant? Were we coughed up on a pebbly shore by a benevolent, immaculate fish? How frequently in our oldest myths the animal participated in the creation. Even the Garden of Eden had its snake. Even the Garden of Eden had its snake. Our primitive perceptions are of the contribution of our primitive perceptions of the contribution of our animal to the human presence have been confirmed by the sciences, but the sciences have not revealed why a sapient species should consistently have been attracted by those explanations of our nature that make a minimum, that make, I love the way he writes. I would write like this. Wait for this sentence, guys. I thought it was a typo. I was like, how's there a typo in this book? Our primitive perceptions of the contribution of the animal to the human presence have been confirmed by the sciences. That's not the sentence I'm super proud of. This one. But the sciences have not revealed why a sapient species should consistently have been attracted by those explanations of our nature that make a minimum of sense. That make a minimum of sense. You make a minimum of sense. That's like worse than saying like, you make no sense. You make a minimum of sense. You make a very small amount of sense. Our primitive perceptions of the contributions of the animal to the human presence have been confirmed by the science. Da, da, da. We went through that. They make a minimum of sense. Even the thoughtful Greeks rejected the quite sensible suggestion of an early thinker, Xenophanes, Xenophanes, that if cattle had hands and could paint, they would paint their gods in the likeness of cattle. It was too much for the Greeks, who promptly This guy's funny. So this guy's Xenophanes, if you haven't heard about him, I haven't until now. He said if cows were able to paint, they would paint gods of themselves. And the Greeks said, you're too much. So who's this Xenophane guy? No, excuse me, I said that wrong. So basically, the Greeks were like, Xenophane was like, Xenophanes. He was like, so if you gave paintbrushes to cows, they would paint gods of themselves as cows. And whoever was ruling Greek at this time, the Greeks rejected it. It was too much for the Greeks, who promptly shelved Xenophanes. Let's not remember what he said, though. I wonder what cows would do with paintbrushes. I would like to find out. Perhaps it's a portion of the human paradox that we apply our intense capacities for observation and logic to everything but ourselves. The American geneticist Theodos Dobansky it's not even Theodos. It's Theodiocesis. It's like Adonis, but Theo in front. Has defined those three traits distinguishing the human being as our capacity to communicate, our awareness of death, and awareness of self. I'm sorry, I don't even watch the news. There have been 2 or 3 people declared dead in the last week that were not dead. What even is that? One dude woke up as they were about to, he had donor on his license plate and he was declared dead. They had him like they were about to cut his heart out and he woke up. That's the 3rd story I heard this week. I can talk to you about this, guys, later, some of it, because it gets into sapiens, and that's a whole thing. So the main reason I'm here was to be here, and I am going to keep coming here, and I'll just keep reading. This shouldn't be boring to everyone. It shouldn't be boring to anyone, but I know it's boring to probably the Dabbleverse. And slowly, you guys can go away. But I did go on a date tonight, so I was like, whatever, I'm already wearing makeup. Don't have a hair thing, but you guys remember, if you don't have a hair thing, what do? You can take a pen and wrap it around. And then you got your hair. Okay, let's see. Let's go like that. Why is everything so silly? Give Ashley her channel back to. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to be able to do my stuff. I get it. Like, and I've said this, like, I'm not telling Doom what to do. Doom does what Doom does. But just let me be myself. Let me do the things I was doing before. I think at one point I said, I have index cards. Just kidding. I think at one point I said, why can't we laugh at me together instead of just laughing at me, you know? And then, yeah, I'm going to do a video on the Dabbleverse, but, you know, for the first 2 months, having people tell you they were your friends when they weren't, and, you know, whatever. And your hair does all kinds of things. That stuff felt really mean. So, yeah, my skin's thicker. But mostly, unless you guys want to do something that makes sense for all of us, I'm kind of out of the Dabbleverse business, if that makes sense. I just want to get back to doing my thing. So, yeah, I'm a bit quirky. I've been through a lot of trauma. Who hasn't, right? But I'm not the person I was 10 years ago on the video that Kevin Brennan brought up. So nothing that I said was not true at that time, but people go through stuff and they change, and everyone's allowed to change and grow. And plot twists, you're allowed to go through messy parts of your life. You're allowed to be very messy. You're allowed to be inappropriate. You're allowed to make all the mistakes. The most important thing, and this is not advice, this is something I do for myself, I forgive myself. I accept myself and I try to do better. So that's what I do. I don't know, Sam, you have my number, right? Okay, guys. So remember to forget everything that Robert Greene ever said, because Robert Greene is an animal. But do remember that somehow they use that book to do stuff. I mean, again, do with it what you will, but it feels just evil to me. It feels, it's like, so there are a few Hollywood Bibles, okay? that I know about. And I am not in Hollywood. I am not my sister, Wrong Cummings, etc. But there are a few books that are kind of like, and that's one of them. And it's basically just a guide to hurting people and manipulating people and getting people under your control and keeping people in a state of confusion and chaos so that they can't decide decisions for themselves. And I just don't think that's cool. What's up, OG Mumbly Nick? Oh, Chris Mack is here. Hi, Chris Mack. So it's weird though, because especially as I'm facing the Dabbleverse, well, not facing them, but I'm just taking my channel back. You guys will go away soon enough. I'm bringing up this book because I want it to be information. Like, for example, this is how this came up to me for real. Not for real. So I was having dinner. This, obviously, truth is not defamation. I was having dinner at my sister's house a while ago, 2 years ago. It was her boyfriend at the time, my boyfriend at the time, and my sister and myself. And my boyfriend at the time used to do this thing. It would drive me nuts. I would ask, like, what color is this? I'm not joking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. If I keep seeing dooms, it means that the mods are not doing their thing, and we'll just redo the mods. So this is clearly orange. There's no reason to wait 8 seconds to answer this question, right? So we're sitting down, and my sister asked my boyfriend a question. And she was like, it was a question. I'm not going to say what the question was, but she asked my boyfriend a question. And I said, wait, chill. It's going to give him 8 to 10 seconds, which was an inside joke between us. And my sister's boyfriend said, that's one of the 48 laws of power. And I was like, what? She goes, and my sister said to her boyfriend, don't tell anyone you're reading that. They're going to think you're a psychopath. I was like, wait, what? And then I'm like wondering, did my boyfriend read it? Like, what the fuck? And sure enough, one of the 48 laws of weakness, that's the new title of the video. Hold on. 48 laws of weakness is to, when someone asks you a question, even if you ask me, like, Ashley, what color is your hair? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's brown, blonde. What color are your eyes? Green. I'm purposely going to wait 8 seconds to answer your question. And therein harnessing your attention and energy. So, yeah, what did I just say? 48 powers of weakness. So this is what you do if you're weak and you don't have real power. I don't want to keep talking about this book, but I thought the best way to kind of segue back into my channel was just reading books, because it's not very clippable. It's not very fun, right? But it's also something that I shouldn't have to do. Doom will get bored. Okay, guys. No, just literally the people writing. Thank you for asking, Rochi. I hope you're well, and thank you for moderating. Just the people coming in. Doom's dad, Doom's mom, blah, 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 blah. Screenshots. Like, no one else can even have a chill time and talk. Even if I am reading 48 Laws of Weakness and The Hunting Theory. Do you guys want to go on to, don't I have some child's books around here? I have a lot of books. Give me the most boring book. We could do Atomic Habits. So I like covering books here. I like talking about information. What else did I want to say? Why I'm here? Which I feel like I think one reason I've been upset lately as well. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I haven't been able to say in the way that I want to say it, right? Because things get twisted. I want to apologize for anybody that doesn't know what the Dabbleverse is. Just ignore when I say that. It's just a online community. But this card is here. Flow through. I don't know. You guys have any questions for me before I go? I like when you color in. Color in what? Oh, my coloring book? My stress-free coloring book? Don't make fun of me for that. I love my stress-free coloring book. My mandalas? Okay, so can a moderator please block and ban forever the comic books person? Please and thank you. I don't know how to do that stuff if I'm not on alive. That's another thing. Is my hair falling out from stress? Hi, Chris Thompson. I have a lot of hair. What makes you think it's falling out? I think I did experience that in 2019. But yeah, no, I don't think so. What did the okay? So when I tell you, oh, you're not a mod, Sam. Maybe you will be. So if I say to block someone now, I mean it. Like my old moderators are probably like, every time Ashley's going on, she's fighting somebody, and we don't even know who they are. So the new moderators, when I say block someone, please block them. I'm not going to explain why I don't want them here. Thank you. Ashley, only you can ban forever. Okay, how do I do that? Thank you. I already know he will. Comic books. Come on, give me another comment. Give me another funny comic book store comment. I can, well, whatever. I'll do what I can do. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm signing off. Wait, but you guys can't block them? Can't, I mean, I've seen mods time people out for an hour and a half. That would let me be able to do my thing. So I'm not understanding. I don't, you know what it is? A Japanese woman taught me this, and Japanese hair is just different than mine. I think it's just gonna go up all perfect. Yes, you guys can play the drinking game about me playing with my hair. I won't even tell you about what happened the other day, because you don't even deserve the story. But yeah, Japanese hair I think is just a little different. Anyway, when you don't have a hair thing, you can use a pen. Hey, where's the comic book store guy? I know what to do. Anyways, talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to sign off soon, but I do know what to do. If I can find my flashlight that equals my phone, I can block him from there, guys. Haha. But it's only 24 hours? That's annoying. Why? But why? But why? But why? No, I'm pretty sure. Come on, comic book store. I feel like you've got some more in you. Where is he? Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something I might not know how to do. See, here we go. Mac, let's go. Okay. Got it. No, stop with the John Melendez stuff, I can't even. You know when like you feel like you have some skin in the game? I don't care that much though. Okay. Come on, comic book store guy. Let's go. Let's go. I thought you were so like talkative. I'm just gonna go to the end of the chat. I believe I'm being ignored. What? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you guys. But that sucks. I can't block him forever. And what did he do? I will not explain myself. Let's see. See, these are the things I like to do. I like to feel comfortable and tell you guys things and talk about things and share information and discuss stuff and not feel like someone is like zooming in on my face, blah, 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 right? So, Dabbleverse, it's been real. There are a few of you that I will definitely stay in touch with. I definitely want to do, sounds so weird because the acronym for domestic violence is also DV, but I'll definitely keep my word on Dabbleverse Yoga, DV Yoga. Rochi's the head of that, Rochi and Quad, and OG Mumbling Nick if he wants to be. Let's see. Thank you guys for being here. It is good to be back. It really is. And I want to talk about, do you guys remember the movie Adventures in Babysitting? It's like Adventures in the Dabbleverse. Let's see. DV Yoga is actually genius. It's perfect. DV, oh my God, no. This motherfucker. No, he didn't. Yeah, DV Yoga with Ashley. I love it. So what was I going to say about the date? The reason I'm here is because, believe it or not, I did have makeup on. So I was like, might as well not waste it. The date was fine. It's kind of funny, guys, and I'll talk about this more when I do cover, like, what do we call it? In and out of the Dabbleverse? In the Dabbleverse, out with DV Yoga. I don't know, we'll think of something. It's just interesting to be around men that don't know anything about the Dabbleverse. And I feel like, yeah, it's good. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Refreshing. I didn't sleep with him. Wait, what should we say for marriage? No, we just went to dinner. Mouth hugs? Oh, kissing? No. I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, I have a big mouth, but come on. Actually, you should have banned this guy. You guys, moderators, ban the people who you believe should be banned. That's what I'll say. All right, guys, how's Discord going? Good? You miss me? That got so weird. Like, I was like, I don't even, OG Mumbling Nick, are you even in Discord? I feel like no. Yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting ride, too. All right, guys. Well, I'll leave you with this. Also, does it look like I'm losing my hair? How would I have so much hair? Okay, guys. I hope you have an amazing evening. I'm going to move this. Believe it or not, I know how to. I can move it so it's right there. But as Sam Bibley knows, there are levels to this stuff, especially with me. It's not the same without you. Aw, you guys have a lot of new stuff going on, which I love. Feels like the heat's off Ash. I am, but don't use to. Well, yeah, that it's yeah. There's a whole so let's see. Let's see. Just kidding. I was gonna say something funny, but it's only funny to me. I realize you guys don't get my sense of humor, most of you. Video that you want me to cover the Dabbleverse, which I feel like is gonna be something that I will probably take some time on. Let me know in the comments. If I did it right now, it would probably be not super healthy for anyone. So I tried to touch on online bullying the other day on this yoga thing because that really felt to me what it boiled down to. But then it was like, oh, it's a reality show, like da 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 da. No, it's not. No one else in the reality show gets mad when they're shit on for 2 months straight by like 4 or 5 different channels. So, and those are just channels that get clipped by 10 other channels. So that is actually incorrect. Let's see. So it's not the online bullying stuff so much I wanted to address, but some other stuff. Just the experience of it, just like, and straight up, one of the reasons I was like, it was kind of funny for me to cover Red Bar. Someone was like, Ashley, you're a meme. And I was like, isn't a meme like a Giphy? It's not like a, Dick Fitzwell has a funny meme. He's like, no, like you're the way that you're literally like so authentically naive is a meme in itself. So I guess he was using the word in a different way. But yeah, it's for a sensitive person and a caring person and a person that went in like kind of like not knowing a freaking thing. That was an interesting experience that, and just like every other experience that's been tough in life, like you guys think, a couple of comments, and I won't even do them justice, but I mean, I'll do the comments justice, but I don't even remember their names. Oh, you haven't been through anything. Like, you've had life so easy. Ashley's always gotten what she's wanted. Okay. The Dabbleverse has been interesting, but probably the least traumatic thing I've been through, specifically in the last 8 years. So that's hilarious. I chose shitty internet friends. I didn't know who was my friend or who was not my friend, but if you're talking about shitty internet friends throughout my life, you're probably right. When it comes to the Dabbleverse, people started reaching out to me, and I trusted them. Gotta stop doing that. Trusting people. My dad always told me not to. Rochi, you know I have nothing but respectful and platonic yogic affection for you. But Discord was weird, and a couple times you were there, and I was like, if Rochi stays, I'll stay, you know? But I just felt like every time I'd get, and one time I was at work, and it was just like, my phone was just like, Discord, 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 Discord. I was just like, what is going on? And then I get a lunch break, and it's like 1,000 pictures of me. I mean, yeah, it's not for me. Have I ever tried to what? Not to my knowledge, Rochi. I don't think you've ever lied to me to my knowledge. I want to hear your take on the Dabbleverse. It's coming. It's in my notes. Here, I'll even make a special thing. Because I have special things to make special things with. Only Rochi will know. Just kidding. I'll tell a few of you when I do it. I'll do it tomorrow, the next day. I mean, it's pretty short and sweet. Dabble, verse, video, coming. I just want to think about how I say certain things. Coming soon, maybe tomorrow. Um, so we'll do that. I want to hear you guys' take on the Dabble verse as well, because I think that a lot of you guys have different. I've learned this. A lot of you guys have different. I don't want to say this. Positions. I'm not a fan of anyone. I'll be very clear about this. Maybe I should save it. I'll save it. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone has an amazing evening. Thank you for being here. I appreciate people that are cool. I appreciate OG Mumbling Nick. I appreciate Rochi. Who else is here? I appreciate even Doom, Sam Bibley. And I hope you guys have an amazing evening and a better tomorrow. Do you know what that's from? It's from old school SNL. So there was a point when Saturday Night Live was cool. It was like in the 80s, early 90s. Chevy Chase was there. Steve Martin was there. Eddie Murphy. What's his name? He passed away too soon. He reminds me of Chris Farley. He was in Animal House. John Belushi. These were the days of Saturday Night Live. And one of the things, it was on, I think it was when they do that, because some of the segments remained, but when they do the news part, I believe it's Saturday Night Live. If not, I just told you the best years that Saturday Night Live existed. And anyone after pretty much sucks. Especially if you were only on for one season. Nobody's on for one season. That just means you were difficult to work with, most likely. So they would say, have a great night and a better tomorrow. And in the 90s, it was hilarious because it was like Steve Martin or who else was there? Jimmy Fallon, who's like, whatever, Jimmy Fallon. I'm thinking of tons more cowbell. I'm thinking of the guy that was in Elf and blonde hair, tons more cowbell. But one of my favorite skits was when they had the little phones and they were working in the department store on their little tiny phone. Will Ferrell, thank you. KB never killed anything in his life except his career. Kevin Brennan never killed anything in his life except his life and his career. And anyone that thinks he's funny, I can't. I can't even I saw a bit of karmic, like, why won't Kevin have me back? I told him I asked permission to be on another show. You asked permission? Y'all know what I've been saying, and I've always told the truth. Don't make me laugh. I will not. Why would I be nice to him? Why would I be nice to Kevin Brennan, who has spent literally so much money not paying me, finding 10-year-old interviews of me, calling me a cunt, wishing my sister's death, texting me about Larry Page. He's the one that brought up Larry Page, so we're all clear about that. His first text at 8 p.m. my time, I have all the screenshots. Did your sister fuck Larry Page to take my channel down? What? Hey, Kev. How you doing? And when crazy texts you, especially when it's somebody who owes you money, and especially if it's me getting that text. Um, I'm sorry. You just might be tempted to respond with crazy. But the truth of the matter is, I do know Larry Page. To my knowledge, my sister does not. So, would I ever text or call Larry Page about a man that looks like a woman who drinks wine out of his coffee cup and yells that I'm a cunt and a slut and I should die every day? Nope. I don't think my sister's ever met Larry, but if she fucked him, she certainly didn't fuck him to take down Kevin Brennan's channel. That's insane. And if you guys listen for 1 second, besides, as my father would say, take your heads out of your ass, nothing he says makes sense. And let me just call this, because I heard him yelling at Felicia has to break up with Karmic because he went on Stuttering John. So now what is Felicia going to do? Let me just guess. She's going to break up with Karmic so she can stay on that show. When I asked Kiki, if you need to be aligned with a man who's calling me a cunt and wishing my death and calling my sister a whore every single day online and on my phone, I would like to respectfully bow out. But no, I need to go laugh on his show. And no. Like, so I don't have respect for people that have respect for that poor excuse for a man. Okay. I hope that's all clear, and I hope you guys find yourselves and understand that you don't have to follow an old man who screams and tells you what to do.